As special counsel, he will exercise independent prosecutorial judgment to decide whether charges should be brought.
Former President Trump announced that he would be running are part of what drove this.
Counsel Jack Smith continuing to aggressively pursue his criminal investigations of Donald Trump.
Former President Donald Trump's legal troubles have escalated dramatically with the recent appointment of a special counsel at the Justice Department. Jack Smith, a respected DOJ veteran who has handled international war crimes prosecutions, has been tasked with investigating sensitive government documents that were taken to Trump's Florida home. This development has added a sense of intrigue and suspense to the ongoing federal criminal investigations against Trump. Smith will also oversee aspects of the probe into efforts to obstruct the transfer of presidential power after the 2020 election, including attempts to interfere with Congress certification of the vote. The stakes are high, and the outcome of these investigations could have serious legal repercussions for the former president. One of the key areas of focus in Special Counsel Jack Smith's ongoing investigations into former President Donald Trump is the diversion of money from political action committees and shell companies to pay for legal representation for over 10 dozen aides and staffers linked to Mar-a-Lago. These individuals have either been subpoenaed to appear before criminal grand juries or requested to provide relevant information or documents through subpoenas issued by Smith's office. This aspect of the investigation adds an element of intrigue. It raises questions about the legality of diverting funds in this manner and whether it constitutes an attempt to obstruct justice. As the investigation unfolds, the implications for Trump and those close to him could be significant. The appointment of a special counsel for the ongoing investigations related to former President Donald Trump has created a degree of independence from the department's political leadership, which President Joe Biden now appoints. Jack Smith, the special counsel, is an independent registered prosecutor who helps maintain impartiality and transparency in sensitive Trump-related matters. This also allows prosecutors and agents to continue their work effectively, guided only by facts and the law. The appointment of Smith also limits the information that must be disclosed to Congress, as only budget details need to be shared. While Attorney General Merrick Garland retains the power to dismiss Smith, he must report any decisions he makes to reject a request from the special counsel, including charging decisions, to Congress. The appointment of a special counsel underscores the department's commitment to independence and accountability in highly sensitive matters. One of Donald Trump's political action committees, the Save America PAC, has reportedly paid around $16 million to lawyers defending Trump and his staff in various ongoing probes and legal issues, including his indictment in Manhattan and the upcoming trial for civil rape and defamation in the federal court in New York. Special counsel Jack Smith is investigating whether these payments have influenced witnesses to provide testimony they wouldn't have otherwise given if they weren't being paid by Trump's PAC. The question is whether these lawyers have coerced or influenced the witnesses, undermining the investigation's integrity. Smith is determined to uncover the truth and hold everyone accountable. Trump raised over $250 million by falsely claiming election fraud and soliciting donations through emails after the November 2020 election. He claimed that the money would be used for a legal defense fund, but no such fund existed. Instead, the money was used to pay for lawyers in various cases, including Eugene Carroll's allegations of civil rape and defamation against Trump. Special counsel Jack Smith is investigating potential criminal wire fraud charges related to these misrepresentations. Smith's team has been questioning over 24 aides and staffers at Mar-a-Lago who have received lawyers paid for by Trump, inquiring about how the lawyers were paid, whether they instructed them on what to say, and if they altered their testimony. The appointment of a special counsel underscores the Department of Justice's commitment to independence and accountability and allows prosecutors and agents to continue their work expeditiously while making decisions guided only by the facts and the law. Another thing to keep in mind is that if Trump did use PAC money to pay for the legal defense of his aides and staffers, it could be a violation of campaign finance laws. The Federal Election Commission, FEC, prohibits the personal use of campaign funds, and using PAC money to pay for personal legal expenses could be considered personal use. Furthermore, if Trump or his aides coerced or pressured witnesses to provide false testimony in exchange for paying their legal fees, it could be considered obstruction of justice, a serious criminal offense. So, the potential obstruction of justice by Walt Nauta concerning moving boxes at Mar-a-Lago is just one piece of the puzzle in the ongoing investigation by Special Counsel Jack Smith. This investigation is looking into possible financial crimes Donald Trump and his associates committed, including the alleged misuse of campaign funds and wire fraud. The special counsel's team is leaving no stone unturned in their pursuit of the truth, even interviewing more than 24 aides and staffers at Mar-a-Lago who have received payments for legal fees from Donald Trump. It remains to be seen what the outcome of this investigation will be, but one thing is for sure, the consequences could be significant. If criminal charges are brought against Donald Trump or his associates, it could have far-reaching implications not just for them but for the entire political landscape in the United States. The investigation is ongoing. We'll have to wait and see what unfolds. The web of deceit surrounding Donald Trump seems to get more entangled every day. Special Counsel Jack Smith is now investigating potential wire fraud charges related to the false allegations of election fraud made by Trump and his aides. What's more, it appears that the funds raised by Trump's political action groups, which totaled a staggering $250 million, were not used for their intended purpose of legal defense funds, but rather for paying lawyers representing Trump's staffers and aides who may have damaging information about him. To make matters worse, recordings of pre-interviews taken by Maria Bartiromo show Trump aides admitting that they had no evidence to support Trump's allegations of election fraud and that they were being encouraged by lawyers not to tell the truth. It's a murky situation, and one couldn't help but wonder, are these lawyers telling the witnesses what to say? The truth will hopefully come to light as the investigation progresses. So, it raises the questions of whether these lawyers tell the witnesses to withhold information or even to lie to investigators. And if that is the case, then that could potentially implicate the lawyers themselves in criminal activity. It's a really complicated situation, but what's clear is that the investigation into Donald Trump and his associates is far from over. There could be some serious consequences for those involved in these alleged crimes. It's something to keep an eye on as the investigation unfolds. Jack Smith is leading an investigation into potential obstruction of justice by former President Donald Trump and his staff. This includes the actions of Trump's lawyers who may have encouraged witnesses to lie and suppress evidence. Trump has been using his social media platform to attack Smith and his investigation, but the evidence leads to potential criminal activity by Trump and his lawyers. In fact, a court has already ruled that one of Trump's lawyers couldn't assert attorney-client privilege, but he was either knowingly or unknowingly involved in obstruction of justice. The serious situation highlights the importance of lawyers acting ethically and responsibly. The investigation is ongoing, and there may be more developments to come. Jack Smith is investigating whether Trump's lawyers are potentially involved in obstruction of justice. This is why Trump has been ranting on social media about Smith going after his staff and employees at Mar-a-Lago. However, Smith is simply following the evidence, which leads to the possibility that Trump's lawyers may have been complicit in obstruction of justice. There is an existing federal ruling in the DC federal court that found that the crime fraud expectation applied concerning one of Trump's lawyers, Evan Corcoran, meaning that he couldn't assert attorney-client privilege over his communications with Trump because he was being used in connection with a crime or obstruction of justice. As a result, his records had to be turned over to Jack Smith. This focus on Trump's lawyers is important because they put their legal licenses and freedom on the line when they become involved in criminal activity. Trump's lawyers may face arrest for committing crimes, and Trump has a history of throwing people under the bus. So it's important to pay attention to this developing situation. The developments in the investigations into Trump's lawyers and their potential role in obstruction of justice raise interesting questions. Are these lawyers telling witnesses to lie or withhold information from investigators? Are they complicit in covering up potential crimes Donald Trump and his associates committed? And what will be the consequences for those lawyers if they are found to have committed crimes? As the investigation continued, we can expect more answers to these questions and potentially more explosive revelations about the actions of Trump and his inner circle. It's a story that will continue to capture the public's and the media's attention. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content. Stay tuned for our next video, and thanks for watching. Check it out.